Well, because the 3838 manifold is actually slightly different, you don't have to take off as much as you would when you put a 3236 on. So that's what I've been doing. I've been grinding away, trying to make that look pretty decent. Got a little bit left over here, and then we can mount that on permanently. Hey. After you've done your grinding and basically port matched your adapter plate to your manifold and then mounted the carburetor on, basically it would look like this when it's finished. And you'll notice one thing, that I did not put the fuel pressure regulator on. I switched to a Vinton tipped needle valve. So it could hold higher pressures, and I don't have to run a fuel pressure regulator. Also, one thing that nobody seems to do is wrap this in some form, a thermal wrap. I'm like, you're going over the exhaust manifold, for crying out loud. Why not try to do something to stop vapor lock? This. Plug that, exactly like I did here. Since I don't have a distributor, that's plugged off. I'm gonna deal with this later, the choke. Now for the interesting tidbit. Linkage. Let me see if I can situate you so you can see the linkage. There we go. That is the Weber Mazda kit. The trunnion that puts this little part here into here has to be drilled out to 9/32. For this to fit right through here, this has got to be drilled out to 11/32. And then it just goes right in through. And it works perfectly. Oh yeah, I upgraded this spring recently. The factory one sucks. Get a different one. Next tidbit, fuel filter. I switched out my fuel filter to the one that was straight in line. The factory one sucks. Get something else. Now jetting. Now everybody's saying, well, I have to go smaller jets on this, you know, because it's a Weber 3838. No. All I did was go half a step on the air corrector. So it still has the 45 idle jets, 145 mains, but instead of 185 air correctors, it has 190. And it works perfectly fine. Next tidbit. This is the hard part. Tuning! Well, what makes it harder for me is because I have EDIS. I can run a leaner mixture with this carburetor than I need to if I had a distributor. The EDIS system creates a larger spark, allowing me to run leaner mixtures. And I kept forgetting that in the back of my head. I did most of my tuning in relation with the wideband, and I put it basically in the ballpark. I tried to get it dead on, which that never happens, until I quickly realized to not worry about it and just ballpark it. And you know what? You put a wideband in, you're gonna get hella paranoid. So just take the readings with a grain of salt, really, or you're gonna be staring at that thing at all times. I also made a small adjustment to my map sensor. And it goes through there, right through there. But the great thing that the car has going for it, and don't mind the mess, I'm currently in the process of doing other things, it just starts right up. because it's humid out, we're running a little richer than we normally should. So, last week when I was driving at idle, I was at just about at stoichiometric, 14.7. And wide open throttle, I was at about 12 to 13. At cruising, I was at 15. Perfect fuel economy. Unbelievable. Let me shut this off, gotta tell you. Unbelievable fuel economy with the EDIS and this carburetor. And it's hard to believe with a 3838, but I am stoked with the fuel economy. Normally I don't care about fuel economy, but I am unbelievably happy. Who knew I'd become a Weber kid? Who knew? This is A for Hachi signing off.